yeah. Did you ever see our pension statement? It's
Thank you.
I think I have like shockingly low number of years. Yeah. It's very little. Enough to get a. Yeah. Well, they changed it like right after I was elected. They changed how that because it used to be full credit.
Alrighty, let's call the Board of Public Works meeting of capital assets for April 9th to order. Roll call.
Gail's here. Oh, sorry.
Marshall here.
Guzikowski is here.
Seifert here.
Alrighty, approval of the minutes from 3/12/24. Any corrections or changes or additions?
Marshall moved to approve the minutes of March 12, 2024.
Seifert.
Roll call.
Gail, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzikowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Okay, number 4, who's got 4? Andrew?
Is that on? Okay. First, we wanted to introduce the board to Francesca Loagano. That name may ring a bell. Francesca has been putting together board packets and minutes for the better part of a year.
We've seen emails from her.
In her role as an admin support assistant, but she recently moved up to my office as the city's management assistant. So I thought we'd give her a quick second to tell you a little bit about herself, and then we'll move on.
Good morning, everybody. Like Andrew said, my name is Francesca Loiagano. I'm the management assistant now. Very honored to be promoted to this position. Kind of had a secret plan when I started with the city. Started as a generalist, and in the back of my mind, I always knew that there was going to be a position that would open up eventually and fit more to my interest and skills. And when I saw the management assistant open up, I was really excited. With that, though, I'm going to continue working on Bob Waka minutes and packets. So, like Andrew said, for the past year, when you guys look over the minutes, I always start sweating to make sure there's no horrible things that I got wrong on there. But for the most part, things have been pretty solid. I'm really honored to work with all of you guys, really active members of your community. I grew up in Franklin, so
We won't hold that again.
there's always that comparison in the back of my mind, just looking at different municipalities, and Oak Creek seems to always be striving for the future. So I really appreciate about that. Really honored to be here, continue working with all of you. Let's have a great meeting this morning.
Thanks.
Nice. Awesome. Welcome.
So Francesca will be, although working from my office, really taking on special projects for all departments that need research projects or just a special lift, background work, and also be working with you to every month to share some of the items that the Common Council approved in place of me or with me, and also be working on coordinating numerous projects in our strategic action plan. So it'll be a really good experience, and she's pretty sharp, so it'll be awesome.
Welcome.
So we had a big meeting on the 19th, and I know you have good background on this, but at the 19th, both the city of Oak Creek and city of Franklin approved the term sheet for the wholesale water agreement. So both communities took that initial step. I know big lift for Mike and Brian and Max to get that there. So we got off the schneid a little bit. We have some forward movement because after that we were able to then approve the engineering design contract with Jacobs for the underground facilities rehab project. So that was about $2.1 million. So some good movement. It'll take a long time to put this formal agreement together. I know we're not that optimistic that that's going to be swift, but certainly hopefully sometime in 2024. On the April 1st meeting, the Common Council approved a mayoral proclamation for Arbor Day. And this is important because we have been a Tree City USA since I had Catherine look this up, 2001. So pretty soon we're going to be on that 25-year mark. And the mayor was quick to remind everybody that just recently, and Fred, you're aware, in our zoning code update, we did establish a maybe not by name, but a tree preservation ordinance. And so with all of the new development, the residents can be assured that we are replacing and keeping and then replacing what can't be kept in terms of quality tree canopy in the city. It's important to everybody. It's very important to the dedicated forestry people we have in DPW. Spencer does a great job out there, and they do really care a lot and have a lot of knowledge about how we can keep our tree canopy. So kudos to that group. That's all I have.
Any questions for Andrew? All righty. Thank you, Andrew. Number 5, nothing. Number 6, consider a motion to approve the water master plan as prepared by CDM Smith. Is this you, Brian?
This is me, yes.
Ready.
So we have our master plan. It's kind of a thick little binder of goodness that we've been working on. We started this in 2019, going through everything. It's a very extensive survey of all the facilities, all the equipment, plant operator interviews, all the distribution system, to get an evaluation of where we're at and where we should be going in the future. We got this all done probably a year and a half. We had that done, and then we kind of put it on hold. A lot of that was we didn't know where Franklin was going. So this document started out that we were looking at it with or without Franklin, and kind of pulled that back a little bit. The recent discussions that we've had with Franklin and how things are going. So it got revised, updated, because it's been sitting on the shelf for so long. Like the lead and copper rule, PFAS, all that stuff has kind of changed in the last 5 years. So all that language got updated, and we've worked on some projects already that were recommended. In most of my recent water plans have been directed as recommended by the master plan. So some of those changes were made. Some of the things we fixed at the plant were revised and updated in this report as well. So this is kind of a guidebook. It's not gospel on how we're going to proceed, but a guidebook on things to look at. A lot of it has to do with funding. There's some big sections of Maine that are looked at using a risk analysis of consequence of failure and probability of failure in those systems. 6th Street is one of those that we looked at. And that's industrial park. It serves a lot of businesses. Very impactful if that main goes down. We haven't had a lot of issues out there. We've had some breaks, but it's not a major concern. And that's one we looked at. We were going through the design process. City's going to be doing some work on the bridges and roadways out there. We were looking at that, and that's one that we pulled back and said, this is just way too expensive this time. We're going to hold off on that. But that's one of them that's in here that's recommended. That we're aware of it, watch for it. We've got a plan moving forward. But we do have a copy of it if anybody's interested in a little nighttime reading. It'll put you to sleep. Looking at all the pressure curves throughout the city, how everything was evaluated, down to the materials that are in the filters. We did a filter dig, evaluated all those materials to see how the filters are operating in our 14 filters at the plant. So very thorough analysis of all the operations, and it's a nice little guide to have going forward. Any questions on it?
How far ahead did we look at the master plan? Is it 5 years, 10 years,
We looked out to 2040.
2040? Thank you.
Yep. It was a 20-year plan when we started.
When you started?
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Good work.
Looks a little bigger than the old master plan that was created.
Just a little, yes. We've had a couple miles of main since then.
Who did you have do it this time?
This is CDM Smith that did this project.
CM
so,
Smith?
Yeah.
Brian, is that gonna be considered referenceable and acceptable by, our state agencies in that format?
Yes. It'll be a, public document once it's approved.
Bob, anything? Motion on the water master plan?
Yeah, we'll move to approve the water master plan as prepared by CDM Smith.
Marshall will second.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
All righty. Number 7, consider a motion to approve the purchase of a 2024 Discovery trailer. Is that Pfeiffer Trailers?
Yes.
Okay. In the amount of $18,890.
So this is repairing, we call it our brake trailer. It's the trailer that we hook on for emergency brakes. It's got equipment, pumps, generators, lights, everything we need to go out to the brake, middle of the night when it's cold and nasty out, that we're out there and taking care of things. The existing trailer we have is almost 20 years old, getting really to the end of its life. It's heavily loaded, so it drags a lot of equipment around with it. And there's some repairs that need to be done on the existing trailer, so it's time to either fix the existing trailer or look at something new. And this is the search that we had. This is the trailer that we'd like to go with. Meets our needs. We'll have more storage in this trailer, more of an actual generator setup and heater setup in this one than what we currently have. And it's nice to keep the equipment and everything from freezing up when we're out there in the middle of winter.
Mm-hmm.
Questions on that?
Questions down there? No? Necessary evil, right?
Yes.
Any, if no comments or questions, a motion.
Marshall moved to approve the purchase of a 2024 Discovery trailer from Pfeiffer Trailers in the amount of $18,890.
Seifert seconds.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Alrighty. Number 8, consider a motion to approve the utility vouchers. Is that you, Brian?
Just got a list of vouchers here. One oddity that I'll point out on here, there was a check reissue for CH2M Hill. That check was for PLC work and the underground facilities project design. It's from January, I believe, that was approved already. They'd misplaced the check. So we got it, the phone call that they asked if we paid this, we said we sent this out, it was approved already. Because of some other issues that have happened in the past, we canceled that check right away and issued a new check. So it does look weird to have a reissue of a check on here. So I just wanted to point out there. Any other questions on it?
I don't have any.
Good here, Goose.
Alrighty. Then, motion.
Seifert moves to approve the utility vouchers in the amount of $559,934.60.
Marshall, second.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Number 9, administrative and operations reports. Brian, got anything there that you?
Just a couple of highlights. We're definitely in the design phase of everything for the summer, so Obviously, the facilities project is ongoing. We're getting the contracts reviewed and approved for the Jacobs contract. That was approved by council here. PLC project is finally, they're working on the last PLC today. We're gonna get that thing finally wrapped up and get that completed. Design work for all the water main and force main projects are ongoing. Looking to have those coming, design completed here in May, trying to get those projects started out in June. So, particularly for the Shepherd Avenue relay in front of the school there, want to get that started right as soon as school gets let out, so. On the distribution side, did have a couple main breaks. One on Highway 100, just west of Shepherd. It's off in the turn lane there, so got that fixed. That was on March 27th. Then on the 29th, we had a nice little geyser on Buttes Road and Shepherd. Had, 6, 8 feet of water shooting up in the air. I think there's a picture of it in the report there. It was easy to find where that main break was. And there's also a picture of our new valve turner, which the guys are really happy with and excited about. It gives us the ability to operate and record the number of turns and the force that is needed to turn that valve. Hoping it eliminates some injuries that are possible from shoulder and back injuries, turning some of these valves. And I know I've gotten dizzy just trying to run around in circles turning these valves. Pretty nice little machine, able to back out any debris or anything that's in that valve instead of putting it on a list, and then we'll come back with a back truck and back it out and make another trip out there. Guys can pull up to it and take care of it right away, so it seems to be working well. We are still working on getting the software portion of it synced up with our GIS system. Once that happens, there's a tablet that's on the machine that records all this information. That can go directly into our GIS database. A record of how many turns it was, how much pressure was used. We can see if there's a difference over time, if the valve's stiffening up or if there's an issue with that valve. So it's really nice to have it.
Sure.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, we try to turn a third to a half of the valves every year. So this is what that machine is for, and then we're also using it in advance of our summer projects, going out there and making sure that all the valves that we're going to need to shut off for a project are cleaned out and operational. So we just found one on Rawson Avenue. We've got the Rawson hydrant relocation projects coming up. One of the valves is the packing's leaking on it out there, so we can't turn that valve off completely. So another one's added to the repair list with that project. But we know we got to take care of that before we start trying to turn down a hydrant and end up taking out more people.
I have a question for you, Bob. There's a hole that you repaired in front of Edgewood School in Groveland. And that hole, I shouldn't say it's still there, but are you gonna patch that?
Not right away, because I'm going to make a much bigger hole. So that whole water main is getting relayed in June from Groveland down to Buttes. So that's all going to get torn up again with that new water main work, and then we'll take care of that with that project.
When do you think that'll be completed?
It'd probably be before school starts, so we'll hopefully start that in June and have that completed hopefully in August.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, there is a little dip out there.
Anything else, guys? That's informational, so. All right, we'll go on to number 10, then consider a motion to enter into an agreement for JMB and Associates LLC for the replacement of 2 VFPD at Fire Station number 3 at the cost of $9,345.
I'll be taking this one.
All right.
Alderman Guzikowski. Matt Sullivan, Assistant City Administrator and City Engineer. So this is the replacement of variable frequency drivers. They basically maintain the frequency and speed of the motors for the cooling and heating systems within these two buildings. So these two items, I think it's 9 and 10, or 10 and 11, both the same thing. So what it comes down to is their useful life is about 20 years. These have been in there for about 20 plus, 21, 22. They are starting to fail. Parts are unavailable at this time. So Dick Kolka has actually been going on eBay to find parts and waiting 2 to 3 weeks at times, using box fans to cool them, different things like that. It's basically time to replace these. So we went out and got a quote from JMB Associates. This corporation actually has the parts for the frequency drivers. They also hire the contractors and they also do the services on them. So it's like a one-stop shop. The CIP item was approved for $100,000 for these two items. We're well under that, a little over 30,000. So very good cost, very efficient. We've done work with this company before and feel that we should be recommending that we move forward with this contract. Be happy to answer any questions.
Over there.
No comments? Sounds good.
Good that they're doing the repair too, if you have any work that needs to be done. Motion,
Marshall moves to enter into agreement with JMB and Associates LLC for the replacement of 2 VFDs at Fire Station Number 3 for a cost of $9,345.
Gale was second.
roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Okay, number 11, consider a motion to enter into an agreement for JMB and Associates LLC for the replacement of 4 VFDs at police station for the cost of $20,884. That's you.
You got this again, Goose.
All right.
So this is no different than the prior item. This is just replacing 4 of them at the PD. Obviously the building is a little larger, so, but cost of $20,000 is once again a good deal. Same contractor.
Sounds good.
Did you have, was it $100,000 total, or was it $100,000 for each of these?
100 grand total for the item.
So
The
still
item,
70 to the good?
yeah. So we'll be able to utilize that in other areas
Yeah.
on our building and maintenance.
Motion, if everyone's good.
Seifert moves to enter into an agreement with JMB and Associates LLC for the replacement of 4 VFDs at the police station for a cost of $20,884.
Marshall, second.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
That's, looks like that's it, adjournment needed.
Good.
Adjournment,
Enough, right?
motion,
Gale moves to adjourn.
Marshall, second.
roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.